Hi, and welcome to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my ever lovely co-host, Judy Loche.
So nice to see you, everybody out there watching Have a Chat, and a pleasure to be with Veronique. I love hosting with her, so I'm so happy to be her co-host today. Welcome.
I know it's hard to believe that another week has gone by, and here we are. We had a major storm dump last week, but
Yes.
our
Oh,
first real major storm of the year.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Can't complain. In
no,
fact, it's been an incredible winter, and if we say too much, something might happen. So we'll just take
I
it and
know.
say thank you, thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So Judy, you have our wonderful positive quote of the day. So I'll get you to kick us off
Yeah.
right with that one.
And I find it really is a positive quote, and I hope everyone pays attention to this one.
Mhm.
I was looking for someone to inspire me, motivate me, keep me focused, someone who would love me, cherish me, make me happy. And I realized that all along I was looking for myself. Yeah.
I love that.
I
I
do
love that.
too, because we're always, I think, looking for someone to pull us out of that and say, oh, come on, you can do it. We're going to go to the gym together, or, oh, you can eat better. Let's make this meal together. But it's up to you to create what you feel is good, whether it be getting up out of bed in the morning and taking a little stroll by yourself. No one should have to drag you out, right? And I
Yes.
am a happy person generally. So I have looked inside of myself a long time ago, and I wish and encourage other people to do the same thing. Look at what you have, look at your assets, your positive attributes, and they're in there. They're wanting to come out. And once you find your inner peace and what makes you really happy, it could be going back to things you did as a child. Bring them back to your life if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and up, or even younger. Revamp your childhood, and you'll be amazed at to what those little things can do to restart your life and to bring happiness to you all by yourself.
Absolutely. And you're very right, Judy. I think, oftentimes we get stuck in that, when I get that job or when I meet that,
Yep.
wonderful partner or
Yeah.
when I have
Yeah.
more money. But
Mhm.
or I don't know, this weekend's gonna be better or whatever. But I think, we need to, you're right. We absolutely need to remember that that happiness has to come from ourselves and that we have control over
Does.
that. And and
Mhm.
and finding those things that will bring us that joy we have to
Yep.
focus on, and then that way
Mhm.
when you do find that partner or you do find that job or whatever, then you're even happier because you're already settled in yourself, and then you've got all that other stuff that's
Right.
just icing on the cake, really, and who
Yep.
doesn't love icing?
That's right, exactly. And so, yes, positivity and positive energy creates that for others. So once you have it in yourself, you pass it around, and the first thing you know, you're in a good place, and so is everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So we've talked a lot in the last year, and it's hard to believe that it's almost a year, but we've talked a lot in the last year about, the effects of COVID on just about everything. The events have all been canceled, and you and I tend to travel quite a bit.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to do that in the
Oh.
last year. But one of the things that I've
Oh.
really noticed that it's changed or affected is when it comes to losing someone close to you, and how that celebration of life happens. And so sadly you lost someone dear to you recently, and talk to us a little bit about that, Judy.
Yes, I lost a very, very special person in my life. She was actually an inspiration for me and one of my favorite people, and that would be my Aunt Mary Trites, my mother's eldest sister and only remaining sister she was. She had lost another one of three girls, and the other sister passed away only a little over a year ago, I guess. And so she lives in Sydney. She did live in Sydney in Cape Breton, and I spent a lot of my summers there. In fact, a lot of time, even in my older years with family, and made a lot of connections. But I just want to say that she passed away, and because of COVID and her being in Nova Scotia and us in New Brunswick, and them being so far, 7 hour drive, and with, like I said, the red zones going on everywhere, we couldn't go. And so it made it really, really hard on my mom and, of course, all of us, because she was loved dearly. But the beautiful thing about technology, Veronique, and as we know, it can be, bad in many ways, and lure young kids in the wrong way and all of that stuff. But it can be beautiful in the fact that we were able to attend Mary's funeral virtually and sit back in the comfort of our own home. And if you wanted to cry, you could cry. If you wanted to smile about something they were saying about her, which was so beautiful, you were able to rejoice about that, listen to the music. hear the readers that were all relatives of ours, and watch them, do honor to their grandmother or their aunt. And so, yeah, to be able to sit there and attend her funeral, I think to me was a blessing for sure. We all felt that we were there in spirit, and the family knew that we were there and had said to everybody, "This is when it's happening. Tune in at 11 o'clock to this church, and you'll see it." And we did, and so that whole connection was, they felt our presence from far, far away, from every corner. It was beautiful.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, and what an opportunity too for you to share that with your mom, because of course she
Yes.
wouldn't have been able to be there, and so that you were
Oh,
able to be here with her console her,
yes.
as you said, in your own home,
Mhm.
and find your own way to grieve through it.
Yes, and then one of her grandsons sent us a big collection, through text, of pictures of my mother's and my Aunt Mary and Laura's, the other sister's childhood. And Veronique, I guess, what can we say? When you look at old pictures and they include people that you've never met, only heard about, like their great grandmother, their
Mm.
grandmother, and you see them as little children, like my mother is a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old girl. It is incredible looking at what they wore back then, the cars they had, like the
Yes.
1960s when she was going out with my father. Uh, to see her holding her grandmother's hand in a home that I've never even heard, like I've only heard
Oh,
her describe, but to actually see, that those are treasures. And so I just want to, I don't know if Brian's going to see this show, but he sent us a gift, a big gift of memories that I can show my mom, and she'll say, "Look at that. That was me in teachers college," or "That was me when I was 12 years old walking from school with Mary." And so, yeah, they are beyond special. And I can't say enough about keeping pictures to share with your children in the years to come.
isn't that beautiful? I love pictures. I love taking pictures. I love, looking
Mhm.
back at pictures. I'm fascinated by pictures, and
True.
I drive all of my friends and family nuts because I take pictures of everything.
Oh,
But it's because you're right. It's such a gift to be able to look at them, and especially if you haven't seen those ones, but to be able to look
yes.
and see all of those things that your mom described.
And especially celebratory occasions for those big birthdays or family, my parents' 50th anniversary. I'm talking about, this, in our own home, pictures we have around of special things, gatherings in the home, including yourself, Veronique, and many of your family members and my family members, all related. And that brings me joy to look back on those. So everyone that's feeling a little bit depressed out there, get some family albums out. It might make you melancholy. It might bring you back to times that make you shed a tear or two, but at the same time, you're gonna remember those people and bring back some of those very special times, be them sad or really happy.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree with you. I love that, and
Yeah.
that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I post so often on Facebook when I travel,
Mhm.
because I want to look back, right? Like, because those memories pop up every year, and
Yeah.
you get to look back on a trip to Ireland or wherever it may be, and we've been lucky enough to travel quite a bit. But I that's why I do tend to post so much on Facebook when I travel, because it's like a travel diary for me.
Not only that, some people unfortunately don't have that opportunity to travel, whether it's due to health reasons or financial reasons. They just, what, for whatever reason. So you're actually allowing them a peek at what's happening. If you've been to Greece, which you were, here's Greece. This is what it looks like. They can live through you. And you're
Yeah.
not, you're sharing a piece of this gorgeous walk through wherever it might be, Ireland. And if someone has dreamt about that but knows that they can't go, well, now I feel like I've been there just by seeing Veronique's pictures and seeing all of the beautiful surroundings. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
great to share.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yes, totally.
absolutely. I love seeing it. I love seeing other people's pictures, and
Yeah.
I get such a kick out of social media, because there's so many things that can go wrong on social media. There's so many things that social
Yeah.
media does that is not positive. But I
No.
absolutely love seeing the pictures, like the 40 pictures of somebody's new grandbaby.
Me
Because
too.
you like, and so what if it's 40 of the same pictures? I love that, because I know that they're getting such joy in that moment. And
Me
you get to
too.
see this, brand new little baby, and a wonderful friend of our show, of course, Rachel Bernard, just
Yes.
had her daughter Allie just had a beautiful little baby boy, Theo.
Yes.
And he, like, oh my God, I love him. I haven't been able to hold him yet, but he just, the
No, no.
pictures of him, I could eat him up. He's so cute.
I know, and she's such a beautiful person, Rachel. For the viewers, you know that Rachel Bernard's hosted this show, either been a co-host with myself or Veronique or Audrey, and she does a wonderful job. And she was so enthused not long ago,
Yeah.
talking about this new baby. So he's here now. He's a healthy little baby, and she's overjoyed. So congratulations to Rachel and all of her family. Beautiful,
Yes, and she's not grandma, she's Mimi.
Mimi.
That's
Hmm.
Mimi.
Right.
Mimi.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's kind of cute. I like that.
Yep. Yep. So she's Mimi, and Theo made his debut, and Theo and Mom Allie are doing well, and Mimi
News.
is as tickled as she can be.
Wonderful news. I love to hear
Mhm.
positive in this day, this COVID pandemic.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
I know. And I love, like I
So
said,
we
I
got to
love
keep
seeing
it
the
light.
pictures. Absolutely. Absolutely. Life
Let's do
is
something
tough right
fun,
now.
Veronique. Let's do something fun. We can't talk about the dark. We have to talk about something that makes people feel a little bit lifted or fun.
You're right. Okay. So, Judy, okay. Let's ask some thought-provoking questions. Our viewers like it when we do that.
Okay, let's do it. And I'm in a
All right.
spontaneous mode right now. Spontaneous, but not
Okay.
thinking real sharply. Let me think here.
All
Okay.
right. All right.
Okay. I
Okay. So
have a
you
good
ask
one.
your
I have
question
a
first.
good one.
Okay.
I have a good
Okay.
one. I do. If you could name three top vocal artists in the order of which you would like them to appear in the privacy of your very own home for your very own concert, who would they be? Private concert.
Oh.
Could be past, or they could be a passed away, or they could be current sensation,
Okay.
or just someone you
All
love.
right. Okay, so number one for me would be Queen led by Freddie Mercury.
Oh my gosh! Whoa. I would
Yeah.
want to go. I want to be in your living room that night.
Yeah. And
I'd
I
bring the
was
wine and the snacks.
oh, giddy up, yeah. No, you know what? I was 6 years old and I got to see Queen in Montreal.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
that is sensational. That's a
And
lifetime treat.
yeah. And it was my very first concert.
Oh
And
my.
we were in the big stadium in Montreal, and it was just
Oh,
like I can still see it in my head. Like it was so exciting. So
it's
yeah, that
sensational to have said you have seen Queen. They're legendary,
yeah,
legendary.
that would be my number one.
Hmm.
Very, very close second. Very close second.
Okay.
Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks.
Oh, really? Okay, Garth. We'll have
Yeah.
Garth. I'll bring this. I'll bring
Yeah.
the pretzels. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, like I would like him. I would like him now. Like just show up. Just show
Wouldn't
up.
that be? I'll see what I can do. That's awesome,
Okay,
Vero.
very good.
No.
Um, do I have a third? I don't know if I have a third, to be honest. Either Lady Gaga or Madonna, one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Well, I've seen Lady
Hmm.
Gaga. She was phenomenal. I
Oh
think if
yes.
I could bring anyone into my living room, I'd have to bring Elvis Presley. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself.
Oh
But and
yeah.
I mean, I was only a little girl, of course, when my mother was getting into him. She idolized him. She and her roommate at Teachers College, and all of the women at Teachers College when my mom was that age. But there is nothing I would love more than to have him in his prime now, when he was, before
Oh
all of
yeah.
his health issues and substance abuse issues and all that. He was so gorgeous. Number one, I just sit there and look at him if he was in my living room. But number two,
Yes.
I love every single song that the man put out. And he's a movie star, and he has the movement, and he's a performer. And we've said on the show before, it's one thing to have that ability to sing and put out good music, but if they can shake it and they can move it, then I'm into it. I'm really, really enthralled. And then I think I would take it down a lot, like a really huge jump down to Andrea Bocelli. And I've seen him in concert, but if I could have him in my
Oh
living room, oh my
yeah.
gosh, Veronique, he's
Yeah.
amazing. He and Ed Sheeran together could sit there and entertain me all evening. I would
Oh
be in my glory. Yeah, that would be a dream
yeah.
come true. But that's fun to just kind of think about those things and what ifs, right? There's always the what ifs and dreaming about things that will never happen, but would be fun if they happened.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran. I think you saw him. I would love to see him. I would love to see
I
him.
did. I saw him twice. I saw him twice. I
Yeah.
actually didn't see him with Andrea Bocelli. That was a different show. But
No.
Ed Sheeran is an amazing personality. He's adorable, and he can sing and he
Yeah.
can play the guitar like nobody. Hmm.
Yeah. No,
Crazy,
that would be
crazy.
great. Yeah. I was really lucky. Like, mom and dad really believed in concerts. So Like I saw Tina Turner
Good.
in concert, I saw Rod Stewart in
Oh,
concert, I saw Cher in
oh my
concert. Like I really,
God.
I
Yeah.
love the fact that I got to see so many of the greats in concert because it was just like
Yeah.
that was such a thing in our house. Mom and dad always encouraged that.
I think it's crazy. I know I've seen the Stones, I've seen Elton
Oh yeah.
John, I've seen Gaga, I've seen Pink. There, yeah, we could go on and on.
Oh, Pink.
I'm a concert goer
Mhm.
myself. Hmm.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
beautiful. Do you have a
Okay,
question?
so I have a question. I do have a question for you. So this one's
Okay.
a little bit deeper. It's but is it do you think it is better to try and fail or to not try at all?
Oh, definitely better to try and fail, which I've done. Not, like today maybe, but
Ditto.
many times. Like how many times have I failed? No, but we've all failed that test, or we've all failed that. We've all failed in maybe thinking that we're going to have a great relationship with somebody and failed because we weren't the person that they thought we were going to be and didn't live up to their expectations. So we might have had chemistry at our end, but it wasn't reciprocated. I truly think that, for example, um, I do acting, and everybody that knows me knows that. So I have done a lot of acting, like kind of in a provincial level when I was younger. But I think had I not lost, I always seem to get a lead part. I really actually the lead or really a strong part. But there was one competition in university I remember that was going provincial, and there was this amazing girl. Her name was Janice. Hi, Janice, you beat me. She's out there somewhere. She auditioned with me, and she was stellar. Okay, I knew I was good, but she beat me. She had something they were looking for, and you know what? You take away from that failing that audition, and I walked away with was what did she do that I didn't do? So then you start to think she gave this much more to it, or she did this much better. So I think you look at other people that have succeeded where you failed at something that you've tried along with them, and you learn what they did right, whether it be a job
Mm,
or a relationship. Maybe you're too controlling, maybe you're too, I don't know, sensitive, and you learn as to what other people and how they handle situations, that this is maybe why they got ahead of you this time. That's my
mhm.
feeling. Yeah, definitely, definitely failure is a big part of life. It toughens you up. It tests out what your true integrity is. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with you. I think it's better to have tried and failed.
Hmm.
And you learn from it, right? And it can be really hard. It can be really humbling and and all of that, but you come out the other side and you've learned something, right? And listen, I we failed at stuff. I failed at stuff and
Oh
it
yeah. Who
it
hasn't?
sucked at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you didn't
That's
fail,
all
you
right.
wouldn't be where you are today, you know?
That's right. Yeah, that's
That's
right. So we have a great show ahead of us. We have, three wonderful guests that are going to be joining us today, and so looking forward to it. One of them is going to be talking about some treats, and I just can't wait. So,
ah, yes.
we want to make sure that you don't go too far. Go grab a cup of coffee or your favorite hot beverage, maybe a little snack, curl up on the couch, and join us
Hmm.
back in a couple of minutes. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my ever charming co host, Judy Loge.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the second part.
Hi, Judy.
Yeah, I know. Judy always blushes when I say that stuff about her, but I mean, you know what? We got to build each other up. We got to do that on a
Yes.
daily basis. That's
Well,
what friends
thank
and
you,
family are
Veronique.
for.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
we are joined by a wonderful guest today, and we are so pleased to have him on our show. It is the first time that we are joined by John Vickers, but welcome. You are the general manager for the historic Chatham Downtown Business District, and we're so pleased to have you today.
Well, thank you, and it's a real pleasure to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to say hello.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome. Yes. So you know what, John, for people who don't know you out there, please tell our viewers a little bit about you.
Well, I grew up in the Miramichi and left in the late '70s, early '80s, and always thought I'd come back. So about a year ago, Halloween, actually, I finally pulled the plug on the West Coast and got my dog and wrapped up my life and drove across Canada and came back here. Couldn't be happier to be back after almost 40 years, give or take, annual visits. Just
Oh,
home's always home.
amazing, amazing. And so now that you're back and you're in this current role and you have been for some time, tell us exactly what it involves, your job description. And I know there's so much that it entails, but just the overall job that you do, John, tell people a little bit about your position.
Well, thank you very much for that question. We have about 75 members of the Historic Chatham Business District, and they pay
Mhm.
membership fee. So we're the result of the cooperative effort of the downtown merchants coming together, like BIAs across business improvement associations across New Brunswick. And our mandate is to represent our small business members in our district, and that, of course, can cover quite a gamut from
Mhm.
they're working with the city closely on various events to um, let's say street cleanup issues,
Mhm.
festivals, everything about bringing our keeping a vibrant downtown in our district and as a destination for the greater community.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Great.
Yes, for sure.
Now, part of your job, I know, involves, you know, keeping that downtown business district vibrant and working with the local businesses to attract more people down to the front street, as we call it here in the region.
Yes, yes, that's
Tell
right.
and that's such a down home kind of thing, right? You're heading down to the front street, and having owned a business that used to be on the front street, I know how
Mhm.
important it is for the work that you do. Tell us a little bit about some of those events that you've had in the past, and I know that we're going to get into one of those events that's coming up soon. But talk to us a little bit about the events that you've had in the past and what they do for those downtown businesses.
Well, if I could take a step a little bit back, I spent about 20 years or so in the technology field. And my goal growing up in Miramichi, I always wanted to work in New York City. And as fate would have it, about
Ah,
20 years ago, I had an opportunity to be a sales director guy in New York City. And because I always
lucky.
wanted to go, I knew I had to accept accept the opportunity. And
Yep.
over that time, I decided I was once arriving and working there for a while. I decided I was just too Canadian to become an American, and came back to Canada. And then when I came back, my life changed because a lot of times in life, you have your goal of what you aspire to do, and in my
Mhm.
case, I just felt quite unfulfilled. So I thought if I took that marketing, sales, all that stuff I learned and applied it to community and festivals, then it would be a more fulfilling path for me. So I ended up doing that for a while out on the coast and coming back here. It's just such a beautiful place, the historic district, to initiate some festivals and community events. Unfortunately, it's been a stick handling capacity with COVID, but we're doing what
Mm.
we can to keep things the way we want. So.
Hmm.
Mm.
John, I've been incredibly impressed, I have to say, with the work that you've been doing and the life that you've been bringing to downtown Miramichi and Chatham. Just take us back, and the viewers who have not had the opportunity to live in Miramichi that are watching from across the province and beyond. Take us through some of the beautiful things that you've done and your group to come together in a creative way to bring families out and themes. I guess we're going to focus on, if you would like to take it back to from Halloween to Remembrance Day, Christmas, and to present.
Well, I think a lot about community building is keeping an ongoing, consistent vibrancy in your downtown. And while I was out on the West Coast for about 20 years, I did a community pumpkin event where I carved some pumpkins in my front yard. It was a local neighborhood fundraiser that grew and grew, and it got quite a level of notoriety. I actually had an opportunity to present my pumpkins at the Royal Ontario Museum in Toronto. And but
Wow.
anyway, coming back here, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to carve them. And then when I saw the posts, I thought, well, they all have power. We could illuminate them, and it just was a
Yes.
matter of, pardon me.
I said it was a wow. It was like a wow to walk downtown and see that. I can't, it's just
Yes,
beautiful.
yeah, and it was about 91 carvings altogether. So I figured if I did a whole lot in the first year, and then each year now I can probably tweak it with 20 or 30 carvings and keep it current,
Mhm.
but the foundation part is pretty well set. So the Halloween, and then of course it was disappointing. Well, after our Remembrance Day, which was provided to the Corps by the Legion and their volunteers,
Mhm.
actually put up all our flags. And then with Christmas, it was kind of disappointing for the community to not have the parade. And I know the parade is
Mm,
such a big thing for our district, and I actually have never seen the
yeah.
parade, so I was looking forward to producing my first parade, but of course
Oh,
that didn't happen. And so we decorated up the village though a lot more. And the feedback from the former Tim's location, where we really
yes.
tried to put in some beautiful displays, was well received. And
Mhm.
now, as I say, the 6 week cycle, here we go again. And hopefully, this next venture will be great too. So
Oh, for sure. And just we were always looking forward to what's next kind of thing.
yes, that's right.
Well, and it,
That's for
it was
sure.
really interesting because of course, COVID has been tough, and but I want to commend you actually on the Christmas display, because my mom and I, it was wonderful. We've been very lucky to go to New York City with Judy. Judy and I have been there quite a few
Oh,
times
really?
together,
Wow.
and see those
Oh, wow.
windows in Macy's, and and kind of
Yeah.
do that whole thing right before Christmas. And so mom and I kind of wandered down, the front street again. I'll talk about the front street, but we wandered down that
Mhm.
front street and saw that beautiful display in the former Tim's building,
Yeah.
and it was just well done. So thanks for that.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's incredible the talent that's around the Miramichi too. The local talent that's available to be so creative. And a lot of times, it's just a matter
Mhm.
of giving people the opportunity to do stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's a bit of a balancing act, of course, because you're working with the city, the merchants, and just trying to make it all happen for all parties involved. So.
Hmm.
Sure.
And so, John, I guess that now that we're into February, the big event that is has everybody excited because chocolate is the buzzword, and of course, you're working away on making a fabulous presentation and event for the historic area. So, tell us about that and what's coming up right away.
Well, having built events in the past, I usually just do a bunch of homework. And how I came about a chocolate walk, I started looking at community events in the States and Canada that had been around for a long time. And I saw this one chocolate walk, and it just sounded great. So I looked at about five
Mm.
of them that operate for some time in the States, and looked at what their programming was, and took what I liked and left what I didn't. And the goal was
Yeah.
to try and come up with an inaugural event that would propel into the future. So we went down and we visited or
Mhm.
talked to Peace by Chocolate, which is this wonderful organization, Syrian family down in Antigonish. And so we have
Mhm.
like a half a truck of chocolate coming up from which is supposed to arrive tomorrow. And we have
Yay!
hundreds of boxes. They have these beautiful 2 piece boxes, and we have chocolate stations in the village, in the district, so you can just help yourself. And over the 5 days to come, and then we have about 20 merchants who are involved, offering all kinds of special sales in their stores, from 20% off
Mm.
soap products to 20% off lingerie to a whole myriad of
Wow.
50% off all party light and candles at the antique store on Kennard Street.
Oh.
So everybody's involved, and there's something that actually I encourage all of you to try, and that is, you ever heard of ruby chocolate?
No, yeah,
No,
no, I have not. I thought I did, but I'm
Okay,
thinking of
no.
well,
something else. Nope, nope.
okay, well, ruby chocolate is a new like a real chocolate invention in the world, because historically there's dark and there's milk chocolate and
Mhm.
white chocolate. Well, in
Right.
2017, this entity in Denmark created this ruby chocolate, which is now classified as, yes, the fourth chocolate in the world, and it's coming to Water Street in sweetheart cookies, two for $2 at the Nappen Bakery.
Oh, oh, I'm all excited.
Well,
I'm
So
craving
if you got a
chocolate.
tunie, if you have Toonie, go try ruby chocolate and sweetheart cookies at the Napa Bakery and Cafe. So there you go.
Oh, that's just fabulous, isn't it, Veronique? Do you love chocolate, Veronique? Because I do, and I think most
uh,
everyone I know loves chocolate. They're gonna go crazy over this.
listen,
And then
I
in
I
the
could I could
okay,
bathe in it if I had an option. I could bathe in chocolate. Like I love chocolate, and I was gonna offer Judy and I to come taste test quality assurance for you tomorrow when the
yes,
truck arrives.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can happy to point you in the right direction. And then in the nighttime, because of illumination, historic Chatham is such a beautiful downtown. You can do a lot with That downtown, I think, because of it's actually the first
Mhm.
downtown in New Brunswick that was declared an historic district for the entire downtown. And it's
Mhm.
and because of all of the history of some of the buildings that we have. So, in any event, with this drive through that we're going to have at night, I have uh,
Mm.
35 4-foot wooden hearts that are going to be wrapped in red and illuminated, and they're going to be on the
Oh.
poles that have all the wreaths, and all the
Oh.
poles are going to be wrapped in red. So it's going to be this like, yeah, this Valentine's Lane driving from Henderson all the way down to the pub. So it should be pretty cool
Oh,
at night too.
wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful, creativity. I love it all, and a lot of work to put that
yeah,
together too.
yeah.
And
It's
when does
been
it all
fun, and
begin?
it'll be next Wednesday night, Judy, and it'll run every night through till Monday morning. It all comes down, so it's up for 5 nights: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah, Saturday, Sunday. So starting on Wednesday, and apparently
Okay,
we're getting
okay.
snow on Tuesday, but after that, I guess the week is looking pretty good. So hopefully that'll be the case.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm just, and it's all like free to go through, right? I mean, as far as you
Free
buy,
to
that's
go
another
through,
story. But
that's right. And the chocolate stations, if you check our Facebook page, people can pop on, and uh, we have designated locations on the street, but there's going to be sidewalk signs. So just look for the sidewalk sign with a balloon, and you'll know it's a complimentary chocolate station. And go in and try some
right.
chocolate. And as I say, the
Mm,
merchants are all have great opportunities or sales
yeah,
relating to Valentine's as well. So everybody's having fun.
yeah.
So
Perfect, perfect.
yes,
Hmm.
so
Wow.
great.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. This is exciting. So,
Okay.
uh, looking ahead a little bit, John, I'm sure that you've got lots planned, and especially, I'm sure it's much tougher with COVID. Having Judy and I are, volunteer just about everywhere we can think of, and are missing our festivals and all that kind of stuff. So,
Mm.
what's coming up next for the downtown business district after Valentine's Day, and how are we going to navigate, COVID this summer?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, the next event is St. Patty's Day, and I understand as the Irish festival, as the Irish capital, it's kind of low key St. Patty's. So I'm looking at seeing if we can blow that out a little bit more coming up next month. So we'll take a look at that. But the summer, and just a quick little story. When I arrived here, I had run these international festivals out on the West Coast for 8 years, and one was an
Mhm.
international buskers festival, like the Halifax Buskers Festival. It's street performers from all over the world.
Mhm.
Well, what brought me to Chatham last February, before COVID hit, was I had done an arrangement with the Rod, and we were bringing in the inaugural Miramichi International Buskers Festival to be held on the waterfront of the Chatham district. But then in April 1st, it got blown out of the water. We already had performers from Australia, and it's all free. It's like Cirque
Oh,
du Soleil. It's like Cirque du Soleil
Yeah.
on the Chatham waterfront, where you could just go and it's tips. It really is a great location there. And then so it looks like I'm going to lose that one again. So that I'm going to have to slide
Mm.
that one into next summer. So just judging by the way the drive-in we did last summer went pretty good. I don't know if there was a Miramichi drive-in last New Brunswick hit.
Mhm.
yes, yeah.
So
Hmm.
and the
Yeah.
feedback was pretty good. The feedback was pretty good on that. So we're hoping maybe we'll have a few extra drive-ins, and then this whole walk idea, like it was a great pumpkin walk, and now it's a great chocolate,
Mhm.
just to keep people
Yeah.
moving, and nobody really gathers. So it's kind of one of those things where you can have fun, and
Yeah.
it doesn't really cause for. And by the way, noon to 3 every day next week, we have a great saxophonist playing live outdoors in the courtyard there by the former Tim's. So it's noon
Hmm.
and
My
3 every day.
favorite.
Lots of people
Oh,
come and park in their cars and listen just to hear something live. People are just so appreciative to see life. So it
yes.
should be a fun week. It should be a fun week. So.
It'll be
Um,
amazing. I know yeah, sorry, Vero.
no, well, and
That's
that's the
okay.
thing. We're in our last couple of minutes here, John. So, what do you really want the viewers to know about the downtown business district, and a few last thoughts?
Well, that's very kind of you to ask the question. Well, we're just really having fun gearing up the district. It's such a beautiful place. I'm in kind of a new guy in the block the last year or so. But it's just a great place, and I'm just happy to be able to contribute, to create some fun and events on the Miramichi. And it looks like we have some struggles to go through here in the next few months yet, but I think overall there's an optimism here on the river, and we're just plowing straight ahead as a district and as a community. So all good.
Yeah. Well, I just want to commend you and say goodbye to you on my behalf, John, because you're doing an awesome job, and I commend you on all of your efforts and keep going with the great work. Thank you so much
Okay,
for
well,
everything
thank
you've
you.
done.
I do appreciate the opportunity to say hi, and thank you, Judy.
Well, you know what? We're so excited for what's to come, and we really want to thank the downtown business district on both sides of the river, in both Miramichi West and East.
Mhm.
And encourage everyone to shop local, whether you're here in our region
Yes.
or across the province, because our local businesses
Mhm.
so depend on us, and they are absolutely there for
Mhm.
us every day when they donate their goods
Yep.
and their services and their time.
Mhm.
So now's the time to give back to
Yep.
them as much as possible. So anyway, a huge thank you to you,
Mhm.
John, for all that you do, and a big shout out to all our local businesses here in the Miramichi region. We want to make sure that we're giving you as much love as possible. And now, everybody, don't go too far. Two more great guests coming up. You can grab a hot chocolate since we're on that chocolate theme. Dream about the chocolate that we're going to be seeing here in the Miramichi, and have a little break, and then we'll see you right after the break. Don't go too far, everyone. Anyway, we are joined by two wonderful women who are doing some amazing work here in the region, and we get to highlight that today. So I want to welcome our guests, Emily Legere and Jose Como, to our show. So it's the first time that you're both on our show today from the Career Information Center. So Jose, let's tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Hi, well, I'm Josie Camo. I'm from the Miramichi area, and I've been a job search facilitator since last year for a year and a half. And I just love my job. I love helping people.
And Emily, tell us about you.
Hi, well, my name is Emily and I'm 22. I'm from the Niguac region. I've been a job search facilitator now for a year and a half also. I started the job right after college. And same goes for me. I love my job and I love helping people out with their job search.
Tell us about the Career Information Center itself, a little bit about where it's set and how what your job descriptions are, basically about the center, starting with you, Josie.
Okay. Well, to talk about our services, well, we've been in the area for a long time, for a lot of years. We're situated at 152 Pleasant Street. That's in Newcastle in the Social Development Building. We also have another center in Niguac, also at 1175 Main Street. Well, just let Emily talk a little bit about the services, and I will continue after her.
CIC offers many services such as resume, cover letter writing, interview preparation, networking, job search, and information regarding the regional labor market and job applicants. We also offer online services for clients who would prefer to have the CIC online services done by phone or email.
We also
Good.
have a lot
Great.
of We also have a lot of several job search tools. We have 4 computer stations with internet access. We have the fax, the photocopier, the printer. We have the telephone if they need to have calls for interviews or if they want to contact employers. We have a job list that we print out all the jobs, the daily jobs. And then if the clients ask us to see it, we give them just a job list. We also have a job board at the main entrance of our office, and it displays the weekly jobs on there too. And it tells you on which job search websites that is displayed on. And
Okay.
I have to mention that we can do the resume for them, but they can also use the computer with the tools we have like Microsoft Word, and they can also do it um, do it for themselves also. It gives them that
Mm.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Wonderful. So how do clients get to you? Like, are they referred to you? Can they walk in off the street? Like, how does that work? Like, if I needed a resume or help with my resume or cover letter, how do I get your help?
Well, how they can contact us, they usually just came in our office for their services, but with the COVID-19 situation, we accept drop-ins, but it's mostly booked by appointments. Um, s- so it's preferable by appointments, but if they want to drop by just for like um, just like some changes on the resume, they can also. But it's better by appointment, but we do both. And it's also just 4 people in the office, so it's not too crowded.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
What types of with regard to age, I guess you're seeing people that maybe thought, okay, retirement was great. I thought I was going to retire early, but now I'm interested in doing another type of career because they're bored. They want to do something else before they're getting old. And then young people as well. I guess we're looking at what age do you accept people? Is it like a career that could be how old do you have to be partaking in all of this, first of all? And do you have people coming back that have sort of put their positions aside to renew another one?
We have lots of like younger people coming in, like I would say 15-year-old. They're still in school and they just want to get like a little job here and there.
Oh,
So there's not really like a certain age to come in and do resume. As long as you want to go work, we can help and make your resume look better, even if you haven't before. And there's a lot of older people coming in also that they're retired and they want to go back to work. And it's
right.
mostly they just want to get like a little job, like on weekends or just not full-time job, just part-time jobs.
Mhm. Yeah,
But I'd
that
say like
answers my
mainly
question.
the
Yeah.
age is like it's like 15 to like I've seen a woman, she was like 85, I think, and she's go to work. So
Oh wow, I give her a big applause. That's pretty incredible. 85.
yeah.
Like we won't ask what the new job was going to be. Okay, we'll just save that for another time. But amazing attitude in life. Awesome. Thank you for answering those
Yeah.
questions.
Um, so, making a resume can be really tough, especially if you don't have a lot of, experience or it's been a while since you've been in the job market. Do you have any tips or tricks that we can offer out to the viewers to help improve your resume?
Yes, a lot of the times our clients will come in, they'll be a little intimidated, like, oh, I have a resume for years. How do I get started? But we have tools, and like let's say they just graduate. We'll tell them, well, do you have any volunteering work that you can fill out? Because it will take a question on your resume. And any work that they can find, if it's mowing the lawn, put that on your resume. If it's babysitting, anything that can get you on the job market. And like people will understand if you're 18 years old and you don't have that work history, it's okay because you're
Mhm.
going to build it up, right? You can't
Yep.
compare yourself to somebody with 40 years experience. Employers will understand that, but we advise that you can get any volunteering work, anything that you can just that's work related that will show that you've been trying to get into the workforce.
Hmm.
There's
People
programs
coming from
also,
all over. Yeah.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to
And
talk
if I
about
may add a
programs,
little,
Josie? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I just wanted to add a little tip on writing your resume. Is to use like the keywords that are like in the job offer, because mostly now, it's a lot. It's like the computer who like scans through the resume, and like if there's certain words that are not on your resume, then just go in the garbage. They won't like it
Right.
won't keep your resume in a good file. So yeah, important thing is to put the keywords that are on the job ad on your resume. That helps.
Okay, that's good tip. Really good.
Mhm.
Yes, Emily has a really good point there because the government jobs are that is a little trick for you. It's scanned through a computer, so they really want you to put the keywords. Let's say it tells you certain skills on their job application, like the job posting. The key is to try to
Mhm.
match your resume with the job application.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Make sure your
Yeah.
qualifications are matched with the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And so, do you also follow up with people like after they, have come to you for help and maybe they have gotten a job? Do you ever kind of follow up after for a little bit of help?
Yes, we do. We'll send
Yeah. Oh,
emails saying if they want a job or yeah, like Emily's saying. Um, but
yeah.
like they'll be pretty happy. Like they'll come to our center and tell us, "Hey, thank you for your help. It helped me so much. Thank you for the tips. I got this job." So we have a lot of good feedbacks, and we have this close contact with our clients to make sure they get into the
Mm-hmm.
job market. And we like to hear about their good experience. Yeah.
Well,
Wonderful.
it's really consoling knowing that people want to get out there and make a living and earn, people have to pay bills and live. So it's really good for the viewers that are watching this show to be able to know how to access you. And you said there are very many forms they can drop in or go online and get your assistance, and you offer your services in both languages, both official languages. And you probably have people coming from
Yep.
other countries too, as well, right? Like I know we have many students from everywhere coming in internationally. And so that's a big plus too, because they want to gain some knowledge, and they really probably do, coming to a foreign country, want to know the ins and outs about all of this and how to go about getting a job. And even as a student in high school, how to make a few extra dollars. So you see a lot of that, I'm sure, international students and international visitors coming and staying.
Yes, we
Yeah.
certainly do.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and
That's
they're
Monique,
really
wonderful.
any other?
interested moving in the Miramichi area. You can see they want a job
Mhm.
here, they love it here, and they want to stay. So it's good.
And we welcome
Um,
them all.
oh,
Yes, we
absolutely.
do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we've been leading the way when it comes to new Canadians actually settling here in the region, so it's wonderful. But one of the other things that is really tough, and you must get a lot of questions around it, is that cover letter piece, right? Because it's
Mhm.
hard to really know what to put in a cover
Yeah.
letter, why it's
Mhm.
important. Do employers read cover letters now? So what can you tell us about helping people with cover letters and any tips on that one?
Employers nowadays mostly ask for cover letters. Some do, some don't. Depends on the job you're applying for. It's mostly like government jobs or more like career job.
Mhm.
Ask for one. The trick is to really sell yourself on your cover letter and to match it
Yep.
with your resume and job application also. So if they ask for a certain skill in the job ad, make sure in your cover letter also. And just really the main thing is to sell yourself out.
Yeah. I believe that.
It's a hard thing to do.
And there's so
It
much
is, it
competition,
is.
right? It's a
Yeah,
competitive thing when there's that really appealing
right.
job and you have, 30 candidates saying, I think I'm the person. Well, that might be just the service they need going to your center to say, okay, this is how I can really up my game and make a big impression and get it down that's really appealing looking to those that might be hiring me in the future. I think it's a wonderful asset. I know my kids growing up were always at that, like, oh, I'd like to do this up better and do that up. They're growing up now. They're young men, and one's in his late 20s, but I'm saying it's something that they definitely needed guidance with growing up, and that that they're past that stage now. So good to know it's offered. Anything else you want to tell us about?
Yeah. I just wanted to add that we have a Facebook page and it's called Miramichi Career Information. And we post like job postings on it, events, like if they have any job fairs coming up. And I think there's one coming up in April. So we post most of that on Facebook page. We also post tips on writing resumes and interview and cover letter. So it's always
Wonderful.
good to like.
Yeah, great to have that. Hmm.
And we would like to mention also to to people that are interested for us to help with their resume, cover letter, or job search that they can contact us to 622-5491. Also by our email at cic.miramichi@bellalliant.com. So you can give us a call. We're always there to help you, and we'll be glad to see you.
Yeah. No excuses for people not to be trying to find jobs.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
We really want to thank you both for coming on, for talking about the Career Information Center. As Judy said, and I taught at the high school level for a while, and that was one of the things that we tried to talk about so much is the fact that you can use that volunteer work as part of your resume. And selling yourself is tough, but when you say I am great at, or I'm a hard worker, or I'm always on time, those things are important for employers, and often much more important than I've got 10 years of school or 50 years of experience. If you're willing to
Right.
show up and learn and be a great employee, oftentimes that's what they're looking for.
And team player.
Totally
I always love to see that when I was hiring somebody. When I was hiring somebody on a job, team player, team worker was always an asset to me, not someone that's totally independent and can't, love to collaborate on ideas. Because to me, it's your idea, my idea. Let's come to a happy middle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice stuff. You're
The
doing
more
great
the
work,
better,
girls.
like you say.
Anyway, thank you very
Yeah.
much to you both for the work that you're doing, and we really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and to share your services. And we're just so thankful for the work that you're doing in the community and in the region. So a huge thank you to you both, and much continued success. So we want to wish everybody a very
Thank you
happy
very
day.
much for having us.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you
and
for having us.
we want to wish our viewers a very happy week, and we're looking forward to, of course, another great show next week. And hopefully you'll enjoy a little bit of that chocolate walk and a little bit of those goodies. I know Judy and I will be heading out at some point to taste test some of that stuff. But
Starting this
have
Wednesday,
a great.
Actually. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. And have a great week, everybody. From all of us here at Have a Chat to all of you at home, stay safe, stay home. And soon enough, we'll be done with all this craziness, and we'll be able to get out and have a few hugs and a few laughs and a few cocktails.
Yeah, sure. I'm up. See you.
I know. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.